Yes, it's coming up. Yes, the host has started broadcasting.
Yep, you're live.
And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, since we came in a little bit late, you will be able to join us later and leave comments and stuff like that. The title on the thing is will parents have rights in 2023? And I'm talking about the school systems and the FBI, thinking that they have the right to prosecute parents who children might have been abused in school, and the fathers speak up and say, no, this is not right. And the FBI of all people trying to cover a school system saying, no, let's not address this transgender, whatever he was, who went into a girl's bathroom and had his way with someone. And if he hadn't been playing this stupid game in the first place, he wouldn't have had access to do something. And then the janitor walked in and said, oh, not my problem. And didn't report it, or when maybe he did report it and nothing was still done about it, and so that's why I put that title there. But we're going to have some other topics here as well. Alan, good morning.
Well, good morning to you, Johnny. Good morning to all the rest of you folks in the Intervision FM universe. We're going to talk a little bit about a big brawl in a little Waffle House in Texas.
Yes.
Happened about a year ago. And we're going to talk a little bit about the speakership race. It doesn't look like Kevin McCarthy is going to get in there easily, if he gets in there at all.
Yeah.
We will also talk a little bit about Mr. Damar Hamlin. He is the football player, 24-year-old football player that collapsed on the field on Monday. The Cincinnati Bengals game against the, I can't remember.
I don't remember, but the audience, put it in the chat line. So just remind us in the chat line.
Right. And by the way, we do have Super Chat available as well. So if you are joining us on YouTube, hit us up with a Super Chat. Also, we want to thank our sponsors, Christian Brothers Moving Company. These folks helped us a lot in 2022. Christian Brothers Moving Company, based out of Denver, or actually Inglewood, Colorado, and Phoenix in Texas. Dr. Richard Damiano out of the Littleton Eye Clinic, corneal specialist. He and his staff can really help you out with cosmetic stuff, as well as with vision. He's helped out Johnny quite a few times, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
Quite a few of his friends. So hit up Richard Damiano and his staff at the Littleton Eye Clinic. Also want to thank the Denver Art Foundation, Colorado Art Relief Fund. We got Wells Fargo Foundation.
Yes.
We've got Eeny Meeny Grant, a brand new
they just
joiner to the if you want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. Also, our website at Intervision Records, that's INNER visionrecords.org. And you'll find a lot of good information there. Yeah. So where do you want to start today?
Well, let's talk about that brawl that happened in that Waffle House, which I thought was kind of interesting. I got the impression that this lady had a disability, because she said like they threw a chair at her and she blocked it with her brace. And I'm thinking, was it a leg brace? Because, I couldn't see her. And I'm thinking, like, if somebody throws the chair at you, I'm going to figure out. And she said she was the only cook there at the Waffle House that night. And it was like 40 people came in from the bar. Right. And they were drunk. And they got tired of waiting for their food. They thought it should be faster. But like I said, if you got one person working and 40 people come in, it's going to take time to get all those orders done.
Yep,
Right?
for sure gig. I mean, and quite frankly, I mean, if you're trying to serve 30, 40 people, you're going to get a couple of strips of bacon missing from your Lone Star special.
Yes,
So
definitely,
that
definitely.
that's pretty intense.
Hmm.
From the interview that she did last evening on Tucker Carlson, it
Mhm.
looks like she remained calm, cool, collected throughout the whole ordeal.
Hmm.
And from what she was saying in her own words, there wasn't so much a reward for or an award for her staying calm, cool, and collected and
Yeah.
protecting the establishment.
They
She
wrote,
got
they wrote, they wrote up. Yeah. She
yeah,
got wrote up for
she wrote up
breaking
for
a
sugar.
sugar
Yeah,
dispense. Oh man.
it's a
And
it's an interesting world when everything is upside down. I'll tell you that.
yeah. And then, she got serious with this romance that she was in, and she moved to probably another city or another state, maybe.
Right,
And they wanted her back. And she said, well, I'm not really interested. And then she said, well, she went to get a job where she was, and she's on the blacklist. So they figure, like, if we can't have you, no one can. And it's not like that sounds like a lover or somebody in a romantic relationship saying, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. And that's just wild.
It's an interesting thing. I was down on my luck about 20 years ago, and I went into a Waffle House and tried to get a job there, and they cited insurance. They didn't want their insurance to go up if I were to
Hmm.
start working for them, and they basically said, I got to level with you here. The Americans with Disabilities Act, this kind of thing, is great and all, but we live in the really real world, and
Hmm.
we don't want to take on such a big liability. Now, could
Hmm.
I gone and taken the Waffle House and talked to corporate and maybe inserted myself in there? Sure, but at that time it was a $4 an hour job, so
Oh,
I I took another job, but it was interesting at that time. I kind of felt sort of dejected when I walked out of there. I says, man,
hmm.
I can't even get a job at a Waffle House. What's up with all that?
Yeah, I remember, like, back in the 70s, late 70s, and this wouldn't happen today because McDonald's have stepped up to the plate. But they would kind of get me a job at the McDonald's, and the guy who was a veteran and had an injured arm, he said he was afraid of what his employers might think, or not want me to be there as a visually impaired person.
Right.
And so things have changed,
Yeah,
not 100%, but this has been like, what they say is like 30% of us are working. But so if you believe those numbers, some things have changed. Right.
absolutely. Absolutely. This
So,
brings up a really good time to go ahead and plug your school, because what you're doing is you're trying to change all that, Johnny, with your school for DJs and podcasters and this kind of thing. Tell the
yeah.
viewers a little bit about that.
Or Innovation FM or KINV-DB FM can be heard on Live 365. Also a standalone innovationfm.com. And what we're trying to do is get like as many blind people together as we can, get their vocational rehab person to um, put together a program where through that we can pay them and provide like services for them, and then train them into like being a news person, but a blind news person. Because when I got my first job at KCFR, my boss John Hendelman, he would look in the paper and said, John, this sounds interesting. go out there and interview this guy. And I would get the microphone, go out there, interview the guy, come back, and he taught me how to cut, reel to reel, but now it's digital stuff. So I'm pretty much I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing in multiple ways with multiple people. And it doesn't matter what state you live in, because our station is virtual. We'll have you reporting stuff from your place, from your city and town, organizations that you belong to, and so forth, like that. And then and just make it a different type of radio. We're looking for veterans as well, because we want to hear your stories too, like between the songs and so forth, and morning shows or afternoon shows. Well, we're the morning show pretty much, but we could, if we might build up another type of morning show. So that's basically what it is, and we have a few people that have programs on our shows now. So if you go to innovationfm.com, you'll hear the morning show, you hear the storytelling time at 11 to 12. You'll hear the interview shows Monday through Fridays from 12 to noon. You hear Sailor's Show from Mondays through Thursdays, and you hear Alfonso Clone Show on Fridays from 3 o'clock. You hear Robert Randall on 5:30 with Holy Worship. Aaron's Opinion on Thursdays from 4 o'clock until 5. And so we've got a lot of programming, but we can always use more. And that's what we're planning on doing. So come on.
The ground floor business opportunity for those that would like to invest. So basically, all of the ways to help us out are going to be listed in the title. You can help us out also by going to paypal.me/InnovisionDenver and donating that way as well. And lots of different ways that you can help. Anything from
Amazon Smile. You can do a car donation. You can see that on our website as well as a car donation. If you have a vehicle that you want to donate, and we'll come pick it up and give you a tax receipt for it, and we'll do that as well. Or those end of year donations or first of the year donations, as this is our third show in 2023.
Wow. I can't believe it.
Wow. Yeah. I just that knocks my boots off too. Oh, now let's go to this next topic. I heard Lauren Boberg on 710 KNUS, and you can go back and listen to the podcast of the George Show in the 8 o'clock hour, and you'll also hear me on there. And it was really cool because I was talking about I said, we don't want the same old go along to get along person as a House Speaker. And then they got her, because it was running kind of late, and then she came on right after me, and she says, I was listening to some of the calls before, and I was that call right before hers. And she said exactly what it's like, they make these deals, and it's like we get screwed as a people. Like this ambience bill, we got screwed because they put things in it to screw us, the American people, and they keep talking about we just want to do for the American people. Well, how come it's taking you this many years to want to do things for the American people? And if you didn't do it last year, you knew to do it the year before. What makes you think that you're going to do it now just because you want the job? We want somebody not only who wants a job, but who can go in there and really work for the people of America, instead of just going along to get along. And you rub my hand with a little bit of money, and I'll forget what my people that voted for me wanted. I'll just do what you want me to do. So she really shed the light on what goes on behind, because she said when she got there the first time, a lot of the stuff was new, but she looked and watched and listened, and then when they found out, because it was 5, now it's 20, and who knows, it might be a few more today.
Yeah,
tell me some more about what you see.
It's all pretty much going to be, I would guess, it'll probably be pretty much over by the end of the day. I can't say for sure. I'm not a psychic, so I'm not doing any predicting. But
she named some names that are people that because the mainstream media will not tell you that there are some people in the wings waiting to step up. They just tell you
yeah,
about the ones who they nominated, and then they said no, that guy, and then they said, well, what about Donald Trump? He's your leader. And she says, she says, I still love Donald Trump,
right.
but this is bigger than Donald Trump.
It's interesting because Donald Trump, depending on who you listen to or who you read from, with different articles, you'll see that he's either staying out of it or he is outright backing a speakership with
McCarthy.
McCarthy in it. I can't really say for sure. I do know we do need some actual
real leadership.
Yeah, we need real leadership. Somebody like, say, Jim Jordan. Really would love to see Jim Jordan in there, specifically because he doesn't want the job. He doesn't want that thing. He just wants to get the job done, but he doesn't want the speakership. So,
but she named out some other people that the news leader hasn't brought in. They just brought in the people that you hear all the time. But she brought in some people that I've never heard of, because there's a lot of those people out of 222. A lot of those people I have not heard of. So
right.
So she says, and then Joy says, well, what if it takes a week? And she says, it will take, if it takes until the roses bloom in Washington, that's how long it's going to take. Because she says, if we don't get it right this time, then it's just going to go back to the same old.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. We as a people are starting to wake up to the fact that this stuff is going on. And the fortunate thing for us, because we are indeed waking up, is that we have a wonderful opportunity to get involved at the local, state, and federal levels in any way that we can. So at least at this point, we can certainly, root for our best Speaker of the House, whatever. Mm-hmm. But whoever gets in there, it'll be up to us to, with our voices and with our letters, let our congressmen and congresswomen know the job that we would like for them to kind of do. The bottom line is this: I was doing some number crunching the other day, and that $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill, if each of the 249,013,000 folks estimated of work age individuals were to take this on, each one of the working folks would have to theoretically come up with $6,000 a piece. And that's on top of the taxes that we're already paying. So it's a rather steep and rather daunting bill. And somebody pointed out the other day that it's a good thing that we live in a progressive tax system. And I just kind of pointed out to them, I says, well, yeah, great. So we are spreading this $1.7 trillion off onto our future generations. And that's not even including the 31 trillion that we're currently in debt. And so this is truly taxation without representation. I mean, our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will not even be able to feel that they are being represented because of the decisions that are being made here in 2023. So we have a unique opportunity to get involved at the local, state, and federal levels peaceably, and our voices be heard and our letters be written. But it is important that we get involved and, as constituents, hit up our Congress and just let them know how we would like to be governed.
Yeah. And one thing that she did say that they put in those demands is, let's get a balanced budget and pull back some of this government stuff.
Absolutely.
And, because that's what Republicans are supposed to be about, is smaller government. And it just seems like they're like a drunkard cellar. And I really think it's like a uniparty, because each one of them have their hands dipping into the till, and maybe the newer ones, they don't, they're so naive or they don't know yet, and some of them can't be bribed, but some of them can be bribed. And that's the worst thing to have, is a politician that can easily be bribed. And we, ladies and gentlemen, give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't. We want our numbers to go up, and leave your comments at LinkedIn. I see LinkedIn is in there. Twitter, our new Twitter is in there, and Rumble. You guys leave comments as well, and YouTube and Facebook and D Live as well. But yeah, I get frustrated too. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Let's not continue that path.
Well, I do know this as well, Johnny. I'm a member of the fixed income community, those that are on SSI, SSDI, RRB, which is the Railroad Retirement Benefits, regular Social Security. We folks are looking at a date which is looming large in our future, which is going to be January 11th. That is when the COVID emergency goes away. And so once that either gets decided to get pushed back out for another 90 days, or if it does indeed go away, that means no more EBT benefits for 20 states, including Colorado. So that's going to affect, millions of folks potentially.
I remember when I was getting that, I was only getting $6 a month. And then they raised it up. They said, we'll give it a raise.
Yeah.
$16 a month.
$16 a month.
Oh, man. And now with the eggs, this guy went and bought 18 dozen eggs, and he said it cost him $8. Yeah, I could buy, say, one egg. I just live off of those 18 eggs, one egg a day, if I was into eggs, But yeah, what are you going to do after the next 18 days, after you finish off those one egg a day? And I don't know what you would do with the other $8, but to make that stretch. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Should we try to get somebody on the show concerning this?
Yeah. Anybody that might be listening, I mean, you go ahead and call in. If you are a member of our illustrious federal government, or even state government, or even somebody in the local arena as well, we want to hear from you, the legislators, the lawmakers, the politicians. Perhaps there's some pieces that we're missing that you could help us with, so that we might better understand some of this stuff. After all, we are indeed consenting to be governed under this rule, so to speak. And it looks to us like the United States Constitution just isn't being followed to the best of its ability. And so we'd like to partner with you and come alongside and see if we can help out. Yeah.
And like I said, I really like to ask somebody, well, how do you think, at the time, oh man, that was maybe 53-year-old man can live off of $16 and or even $6. They may say, well, he's a very slender guy. He doesn't need that much. It was even a waste of time. I said, why even send the $6 or $16? Waste of time.
Yeah. Waste
so
tax money, everything else.
Yeah. Now let's talk. Okay. In Denver, I went to Thomas Jefferson High School.
Hoorah.
Now, the Thomas Jefferson High School, I didn't know it was this one in I guess in Virginia, where this new governor got in and everything, where this I want to talk about this. Okay, this one, they had this thing in the school where say you got a high score, you're on the honor roll and stuff like that. What this equity thing says, well, we don't want other kids to feel bad, and we want them to feel in equity and so forth. So let's just keep it on the down low and not even tell you that you made such good scores that you got on the honor roll. And the governor found out about this, and he says, let's reverse that. If you are doing good in school, everyone should know it so they can strive to be the best.
Well,
So, yeah.
that's interesting because the American way of life used to be a meritocracy, wherein the merit of our intelligence or the merit of our work ethic or whatever, that would be enough to get us in the door. Now it seems that everybody wants to be called a winner, even if they're not quite winning. You know,
The participation
a
was that rhythm.
participation award. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's ridiculous.
it is.
Stupid, ridiculous. Whatever liberal came up with that, crawl back underneath your rock. It's a stupid idea. And so he reversed a lot of that stuff, and fantastic. Now in that same state, something was happening where I guess this girl, it was a transgender boy, once again, whatever, and wearing like a kilt, like like what they do in Ireland, and he had his eyes on this one girl, went into the bathroom with her, raped her and so forth. Janitor walked in, saw the legs out of the stall. He stepped out, and it was just a whole cover up. Then they wanted to make the father the enemy, the father of the daughter, and then they quietly transferred this boy to another school, and they were all trying to cover this up, and they even arrested this guy. I know you probably heard it in the news. You can go watch Tucker Carlson, and you can see the past shows about this, and so they found one, and they fired the school attendant because it started at the top, and everybody else they're gonna prosecute this guy. And rightfully so, because what if that was, your daughter or your son who got abused by somebody who's claiming there's something else? And I just heard this morning, it's on this topic. Mr. Rogers had the song about everyone is different and stuff like that, and it says, your girls, you're a girl, and don't be ashamed of that. You grow up to be a mom. Boys, you grow up to be dad. Things, he said this on PBS. He wrote these songs, and he said you could never say that kind of stuff nowadays because you could be gender fluid. So getting back to this topic, this guy was a gender fluid rapist that the schools were protecting, not the parents, but they were protecting the criminal.
It's because these types of topics, they do trigger folks, and they do make YouTube not so happy when we talk about them. But these are things that we need to talk about. So, regardless, we're going to bring them up.
Yeah, and as a parent, you should. Okay, I know these are professionals, but at their whole thing is indoctrinating your kids to be communists, socialists, neo-Nazis of today, or be these race haters between each other, and looking at this person is black, so you have to, I'm the oppressed, and all. That is over. We have so many opportunities today, and for them to go into this critical race theory and play with our kids' mind, grandparents, parents, and even if you're not a parent, you should be upset about this, and not let it continue. If it's continuing, if you live in a blue state, and you're normal, go to the school meetings.
Absolutely. The one thing, I was thinking about this the other day, the one thing that really that darkness cannot stand is a nice big fat bear hug, a nice warm loving hug. Love, light go together, darkness and hate go together, but neither the darkness nor the hate can stand against this love of Christ, and cannot stand against light. And so there is no place for darkness. I mean, we are coming to a place in our human evolution, if you want to call it that, where we're going to have to get it together, and we're going to have to start learning how to love one another and putting each other first, putting other people before ourselves. And, honestly, doing this work, because that's the only thing that's going to unite our race as a whole. And, Christ will save us. He'll do the salvation work, but we do unite.
Yeah, and it's just just so keep the faith, keep praying, but also get involved. School boards is coming up for election this year.
This year.
City council, these minor races, they do count.
Yep, absolutely.
And you never know unless you get involved, and we really encourage you. I mean, I did it, and it was interesting, and I'm going to do it again. And it was just an interesting process. And like I said, I don't know everything about politics and stuff like that, because I've been living in the music world. But you learn, you get in there, you learn, and with a good heart, you will make change and make things happen positive for your city, your county, whatever commission that you might get on. And it just helps when you give back. Instead of taking, you say, oh yeah, I'm paying enough taxes, but when you give back physically to change some of those things, it really helps. It really, really helps. And don't forget the thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to our channel here. And let us know what kind of programs that you would like to see. info@innovisionfm.com. That's info@innovisionfm.com. And tonight, Ellen, I'm going to a meeting. I haven't told Natalia yet. His name is Biff Gordon. I think it's Biff Gore. I'm sorry, Biff Gore. And he was on the 14th season of American Idol. And so he's a blues guitarist, great voice. And he has this thing where he's going to be having a 90-minute class about training pastors and leaders who will go back to their community. And I'm going to go there to see if I can find some pastors that will come on the show, find some artists in their churches, because we need to replenish some of the artists that we have with Innovision. And I like to get as many Christian contemporaries and start putting together concerts, because I know how to book concerts, but not concerts just in the church. We're going to go into the devil's den and do concerts.
In the byways and the hedges, my brother. That's the best place to find folks that are searching for the light, is when they're lost in the darkness. So I commend you on that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go out to this meeting and spend 90 minutes and not run away at the end, because the meeting's over, and have my cards and try to get some people signed up. So that's going to be tonight from 6 to 7:30. So if you're here in Colorado, you'll see me at this Biff Gore meeting, which I kept saying to them. I said, "Who's this guy?" And then I heard him on the radio show, and he was playing and stuff like that. And then he told the story, and I said, "Oh, that's who this is." So he was on my radar, but I just didn't, connect the dots until I heard him on that morning show. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for like joining us here on Innovision FM. I know we just started out dry, but it was just one of those things where technology is crazy. So, all right. So God bless. See you guys tomorrow. Or no, next Monday.